Shalom. I wanted to put this video out to encourage everybody. I've been doing some extensive research of in some things, and I wanted to this reminds me, this is why I have this a pictograph of hey, the Hebrew letter hey, and I think it's great because he's overlooking Philadelphia. So that reminds me of that word and that letter, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But I wanted to pull this one up, this table, because I've been working on some things for a few weeks now, and I wanted to get this out here because I've been doing some research in some of the Hebrew words, because there's multiple Hebrew words for things, so you got to get the right one. And I did a search 2016, 2017 here, and I put in banquet. Of course, June also means dovish, which reminds me of Yonah, because Yonah means dove. So banquet comes across in pink up here, and here's June. And then, of course, I did this one because I thought this was really cool. I've been trying to figure out just some concepts. So star, I put in star. So this particular Hebrew word can be orb, star, planet, star. So I did a video about planet and where the word planet came from. So it's kind of interesting, the concept about that. I'm not really sure. But this is Deuteronomy 29:19 to Joshua 1:8 at a skip of 4:8-6. So of course that led me to banquet, which reminded me of the parable of the wedding banquet. So this is so important to understand this, the parable of the wedding banquet. And this is an article, and I'll post it in the description box. And Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, 'Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted cattle and have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. Go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find.' So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, both good and bad, and the wedding hall was filled with guests." Now this word gathered, we're going to do a research on this because there's like 3 or 4 different Hebrew words for gather. Very interesting. So when the king came in to see the guest, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. "Friend," he asked, "how did you get in here without wedding clothes?" The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, "Tie him hand and foot, throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen." Again, I did a video about this phrase and how if you translate it in the Hebrew way, the call goes out to many, few choose. So the invitation is for all. Yeshua is for all, but there's a way to get into it because he's the way. And now I wanted to show you this because this is so profound. First century Jewish wedding customs held that the father of the groom was in charge of the event and bore all the expense associated with the wedding and the banquet that followed. I've been told this included providing a specially made garment for guests to be worn over a guest's regular clothing. This wedding garment was presented to the guest upon arrival and donned immediately. Now in the KJV, she donned royalty, remember that? Refusal to wear it was an insult to the father of the groom and could get a guest ejected from the festivities. So he provided the robe of righteousness, the robe to go to the wedding. It's the father's responsibility. The father, the groom, he provided it. So Yeshua came and made the way for us. Now I want you to finish reading this on your own and delve into that, because that makes a lot of sense. People are like, well, I don't understand that. Well, that's because the ancient wedding, the father provided the robe. Now in this, I have this really cool. Hey, that's the Hebrew word. Hey, man with arms raised, being, look, behold, revelation, fifth dimension of spirit. The Father Spirit seeks those who worship him in spirit. And then the way, the path, Yeshua is the way. The Zadi, hunting or chasing. Also, righteousness. The Hebrew word, you can look that up for righteousness. His way of doing and being right. So do you understand that it's because the Father provided it already? That's why we go to his way of doing and being right. So now we're going to look up the word gathering. So we're going to look in a text analysis in the Hebrew lexicon. So we go to the scripture, shall not depart the scepter from Judah, nor a rule staff from between his feet until that comes, Shiloh, which we know Judah, and to him shall the obedience of the people. I'm not sure why they translated that word as of gather, but it's not. It's obedience. So I want to show you this because I did analysis of this. So Genesis 49:10, and unto him shall the gathering. So the first gathering is H3349. Yod Kuf He He. Obedience, cleansing, purging. From the same as H3348. YAHUAH. Blameless. Father of Ugor the sage. Yacob, a symbolic name for Solomon. I'm sorry, I missed one up here. I apologize. Gather yourselves, I apologize. H622. Aleph Samak Pei. To scrape together, whence sweeping whirlwind, to collect as fruits. Reference Exodus 23:10, ears of corn. Ruth 2:7, money. Also to assemble many peoples. So that's 49:1. Genesis 49:2, gather yourselves together. And then this one, this Hebrew word. So that's kabatz, kuf bet zadi. This is the one in 49:2. To take, to grasp with the hand, to take with the tips of the fingers, to congregate selves. So that Hebrew word for gather is this. Now the Hebrew word for gather in Genesis 49:10, and to him shall the gathering. Oh, sorry, I forgot my R there. See, YAHUAH, Yod Kuf He He, obedience, cleansing, purging. Father. So this is blameless. So as you understand this Hebrew word, it's obedience. Obedience to what? His commands. To keep his commandments. So in here is going the distance again. So we continue and hey, this is the way, walk into it. Walk this way. So I wanted to show that. Now here is, I did a search on the scepter. Shabbat. Shen. Bet. And I think that's the Sonic. Rod, staff, branch, offshoot, club. Scepter, tribe. Can also mean tribe. And you can go through here and look at this. A measuring rod, a portion measured off. Also used for beating or striking, hence the rod with which God corrects, used of calamity sent by God. So Job 9:34, 21:9, 37:13, Isaiah 10:5, the rod of his mouth. And so when you go through here, you can look all of these words. mean and translated it as tribes. So remember in Isaiah 49:5-6, we're going to go through here, and the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes. To him shall be obedience of the peoples. So if you look through here, they translated it in some as the correct obedience, but some they didn't. And we'll go through here, we'll look at this one, a cross-reference. It is, and so this cross-reference comes up. It is too small a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Yacob and to restore the preserved ones of Israel. I will also make you a light to the nations, so that my salvation, that would be Yeshua, may reach to the end of the earth. So the Father provides the wedding garment. Now, you know, I've been studying and researching the different calendars. So I think, to me, as I've looked in this, I've narrowed it down to two that I've been watching and kind of looking, and maybe this could be why there's a discrepancy. You know, just by following the Ruach HaKodesh, just from my own, you know, he's my teacher. So looking at this, and so maybe there could be the reason why there's a discrepancy. Now, the Enoch calendar is very interesting, and the reason why, in one of the dreams that Aaron had, heaven dream, oceans and almond branch. Now this is what he's saying. This is very interesting. So, yes, but we are all trying to figure out the proper calendar and timing, so that at least we will know your patterns based on the proper Enoch calendar. Aaron, there are even arguments about the time of the week of Shabbat. This was a sacred time of rest commanded by God, so be Elohim, and even I observe it. This is Yeshua speaking. Yet a certain church, quote unquote, determined that they were holding more authority than the word of Elohim. How does this happen? I will tell you. All was foretold. Look at Daniel 7:25. I'll quote this for you, as this is important proof when understanding the timing and corruption of this. He will speak out against the Most High and wear down the saints of the Highest One, and he will tend to make alterations in times and law, and they will be given into his hand for a time, times, and half a time. So we know that this was changed because of the Vatican and the Council of Nicaea and all that. So this was that time that happened in. And so what was Shabbat then? You know, I believe that was probably Saturday, or I'm not sure, but here this says it's on Wednesday. So I don't know. I'm still looking into this. I still at least keep the Sabbath. I set it apart, and that's the most important thing, you know, is to set apart the day from what it was changed to. So do you understand that he's the way? Again, hey, this is the way, walk in it. So of course we got Rocky training here. Where did my stuff go here? In the Rocky run. We want to finish this race, and we want to finish strong. We want to finish, you know, well. We want to finish in him. So not to quit and give up. So I'm going to post these in here, so for encouragement. And I hope you have a blessed Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.